And hello there folks, welcome back, selamat datang to round number 6. Here we are, just past the halfway mark in Malaysia Sim Racing League, the F1 Asia Series brought to you by MSRL. Season number 6, here we are for round number 6. So 6 and 6, are we gonna see some teammates take each other out? Cough cough if you know that Star Wars reference. Well, let's hope not, because it's kind of famous for doing so once in a while. Let's see if 18 drivers today. We have one more driver joining us real soon, probably after 10-ish, if they can make it back. But we are going to go into the lobby right about in a minute or so. And for now, just for probably disqualifying at the start of the race, I'll be alone here in the comms box while our good friend, co-commentator Nick is over in ACC doing his starting stints in Suzuka 24 hours. So excited to take part in that as well. But for now, we have our duties over here. So if you're new around here, well, welcome to MSRL. Selamat datang ke MSRL. If you're regular around here, welcome back. And we are going to go to the Prix GP. One of the tracks where I have a little bit of a PTSD moment if a safety car ever comes out, because I got disqualified for accidentally overtaking a safety car back in F1 2021. So that's not so refreshing, kind of a fact. But yeah, let's see. It is 10:05 and it is time to go into the lobby. Let's just double check the settings before we head in, and we'll signal the drivers to give it a go. Alright, everything seems to be in order, thankfully, and let's get into the session here. Hello Xander. Rain, well, bright sunny day. There's a question mark there, as you can see in the weather icon. That means it's gonna be dynamic. Well, we'll see once we enter the lobby. Is it going to be raining? Is it going to be dry? What's the weather going to be like in the race as well? We have no idea, as usual, in the comms box. We should really have some kind of weather prediction, for spectators at the very least. Now, if you do hear firecrackers or some kind of mini explosions going off in the background, well, Happy Diwali to all the Indian communities all around the world. It is Diwali Eve, whichever you prefer to call it. And it's gonna be quite noisy in about an hour and a half from now. Almost 2 hours to go before it is 12 o'clock. And yes, firecrackers are gonna be hitting real life. And probably we can get some firecrackers out on track as well. It seems to be dry, which is exactly like you wanted, Xander. And for our drivers here in the pit lanes, I think they'll be happy to see a dry track, although it is kind of overcast right now, so it might just be dry at the start and maybe it's going to rain out later. We'll find out if it's going to rain later or not. We can probably get an indicator if the drivers are immediately going on soft tires for their first runs. Usually you'll see some drivers on the medium tires to save a set of softs, or sometimes even take it to the extreme by taking the intermediate tires to save a set of dry tires for the race. Let's see if any of them are actually going to go for that. We have a little bit of a loading here, and finally we are ready to go. 18 minutes of short qualifying is underway, and we'll see who goes out first. And if anyone would like to go out on the intermediates as well. And welcome folks, welcome to the chat. If any issues in the stream, my voice is too loud or too soft or anything, just let me know. Of course, feedback is always welcome. We'll try to fix that on the spot if it's possible. Otherwise, we'll investigate that post-race and fix it for the next race, next weekend. Speaking of which, next weekend is going to be Las Vegas Grand Prix. First time in real life, first time in the game as well. Will it be accurate 1-to-1? We don't know yet. There might as well be some variations in real life compared to the game in the game track. For all we know, the DRS in real life has been shortened just a little bit, so it's not going to be as powerful as we usually see in the game. Here in Silverstone, it's sort of the opposite. You always get a DRS train around here. It is quite high speed, as you can see from all the track layouts here. Well, speaking of the track layout, let me actually bring out the track layout for you. Apologies for that extra waffling here. And as you can see from the track layout itself, a lot of high-speed corners, a lot of long flat-out zones. So top speed is important if you want to get close to make an overtake. But at the same time, you need quite a good amount of cornering performance here to even stay close to someone. So as usual, drivers have to balance out their setups, downforce versus top speed around here. Hey Elia, you have a fan around here, so there you go. And finally we are seeing some overtaking action already in qualifying, and that is one of the Alpines. It's Kendra overtaking his good friend Elia. Are they gonna go for a tow around here? Are they just just waffling around on track here? I suppose they are probably just waffling here, trying to warm the tires here for now. And let's see if anyone is ready to start a lap. And there is a Mercedes that is ready to start a lap, and that should be Swiss. Our consistent P2 sitter right now, leading the championship P2 onwards. If there wasn't any P1, he'd be winning it. And let's see if he does well in his first attempt here. Whoa, okay, I see something. I saw a drop of rain there, spot of rain. It is like Brazil somewhat, as Xander mentioned in the chat. It is starting to rain. There are raindrops already, and drivers who are not out yet, still in the pit lane, Zanubi, Vumax, a Hot Stuff, Lampy, I think they're gonna be caught out over here. Shahi is laid out of the pit box. Sharis was laid out of the pit box as well. He's gonna get caught out. So is this possibly a chance for Switch to get a pole in MSRL season number 6? Is that why he came out so early and the first one to set a lap time? Because as you can see here from the onboards, it is already spotting. It is going to get even wetter from now. Grip is not going to be optimal from here on out, and I think Switch might have just nailed this. Flake is out on the intermediates already. That's a 26.7 from Switch. That is probably going to be provisional pole. That might just be the pole of the season. Nah, not just yet. Easy says no, and that is a 2/10 that Easy has pulled off. Kenrick goes P3, Nabil goes P5, 1 second behind his teammate. That I think a bit of weather is gonna play some effect around here. Sharis, the one to watch out. Zach, while he's still spotting out there, he finds some time here. Track is improving a little bit, but at the same time, it's deteriorating with the rain. 26.4 for Zach. Can we see Sharis nail this? Coming out of Magnets and Beckett's onto Chapel, now onto the hanger straight. 2.9 doesn't seem to be the fastest yet, and this might not be the pole Sharis was looking for. Aswan, AJ goes fastest with a 26.0 in this, worsening condition so far. Track grip is still there. Last chicane, chicane here. Now onto the last corner here. Can he pull it out of the bag? Looks like no. It's not gonna be a pole for Sharis. It's only a P4 for Sharis right now. That means we potentially have a pole position for Aswan in P1 there. Shahi in P3. So 1-3 for Ferrari so far. Zach in P2. And folks, I think that might just be the end of qualifying. It's seriously, it's raining right now, and I don't think anyone's going to improve their lap times. Let's see if Hot Stuff, who came out quite late here, how much can he improve to get higher up into the starting positions. Consistently finishing in the top 5 here, and has helped Sharis in the other Red Bull to pull away in the Constructors Championship. So what can he do? They are in a fight with Mercedes for P2 in the Constructors so far. Mercedes are trying to catch up. It's a bit back and forth in the past few races here. Now, if his starting position is compromised, it's going to be happy days for Switch in P6. And, I don't see Nabil. Well, he's down in P11. Alright, there you go. Hot stuff after completing the lap, 2.4 seconds off the pace. So that is, well, not a good starting position, but crucially, he's behind Nabil. So if you want to take it in championship order in some sorts, Switz is starting in P6, right behind Shariz in P4, and Nabil is starting ahead of Hot Stuff, 11 and 12 for them. So it is still pretty tight there for the Constructors' Championship, neck and neck between the two drivers, the first and second drivers of the team respectively. So it's not over just yet. We are only halfway through the season, and we're only not even halfway through this session yet. We already have plenty of drama here. Kendra, on the other hand, still trying to go on the soft tires here. I think, buddy, it's a little too late, and that might have been a blunder to go on the medium tires at first, seeing the rain, came pretty early. And everyone else is into the pits already. And will anyone come on the intermediate tires to just get some practice? Well, that might be a difficult question to answer. There is rain in the actual race right after this. Probably it's worth coming out right now and get a few practice laps, especially if we haven't got any practice done yet. Oh, not so flat out in the rainy conditions here, in the drizzles here. Not anymore. Corpse is no longer flat in qualifying. Maggots and Beckett's first part is flat, second part not so. Third on the exit of Beckett's onto Chapel. You run so wide there, you definitely lose quite a bit of time. And well, Hot Stuff is still going for it, so kudos to him to actually trying so hard. He'll still have to find at least 1 second here to even improve one position. Whereas the likes of Lampy, Flaky, Zanubi and Wumax, I think they've noticed that it was a little too late to go out on the dries anyway, and decided to stay in the pits. So what can they do? I don't know. Kendra having a little pirouette coming out of the Vale chicane onto Club, and yeah, well, onto the Hamilton straight. I think he's just going to bring the car home into the pits. Let's just check on with Hot Stuff here. Is he going for a lap again? Looks like he's just circulating around the lap, probably collecting data. Maybe it's not going to rain in the race after all. We have informed the drivers to wait till the end of qualifying, just so one driver who couldn't make it to qualifying, he still will be able to join by the end of qualifying. And well, that's going to be a long 8-minute wait. So as long as one person does not retire from the session, we will be able to wait for the next 8 minutes or so. In the meantime, if you're still watching, if you're just tuning in as well, welcome to MSRL. And well, kinda anticlimactic considering how the qualifying panned out here. We hoped for some rain, the chat hoped for some rain, and then we got some rain. And it came super early. Whoever went out earliest, they definitely got a good lap in. The likes of Aswan, Zach in P2, Shahe and Shariz, Easy and Switz were, among the first few to go out. Switz was the first one to go out. However, the track being a little green at the time meant that he did not have the best grip. We know at this point, with his pace, he definitely could have at least gotten the P1 or P2, very close to that. If the conditions stayed dry a little longer. And finally we have MacD joining us. So well, MacD, short for McDonald is his name. He's finally in the lobby. He will be joining us from race 6 onwards as a reserve as well, and today he will be sitting in the Haas seat, if I'm correct. He'll be taking Zach Wen's seat for today, who has been absent. Now, his partner will be Easy as well, fellow drivers from another league. So they know each other pretty well, and I'm pretty sure they will love the team partnership over here. And we have some drivers here. The Ferraris here, Shahi and Azwan, are also buddies of ours from another league. They are going on the intermediate tires, so I wonder if there's a little bit of practice going on here. In case sometimes lobby gets restarted for some odd reason, and it's dynamic weather enabled for restarts as well. Might as well get some practice, eh? So maybe some other drivers will hear this advice and go for it. Lampy's gone out on softs again. That's pretty audacious there to burn some softs. Flaky is there doing some practice on the intermediate. So well, we have 6 minutes to go and I think I'll just let you guys enjoy our pole sitter for today, giving us some laps on the intermediates in Silverstone. DRS is still enabled, by the way, which means it is sort of an overlapping crossover conditions here. The inters and the softs might just have enough or equal pace here. However, I think looking at how treacherous it is to drive on the soft tires here, these are the C3 soft tires, and it's pretty hard to fire up. C1, the hardest tires from the full allocation, is being used for the race, and it's going to be difficult. Oh, careful there, you don't want to run into a car out on track here. Looks like more drivers are coming out on track to get a little bit of a practice here, and that's good, I suppose. That's good. Now put down your predictions in chat. Who do you think will be winning this race? We always have our favorite here. Can we break the streak of 5 in a row for the Red Bull guy Charis, who's starting in P4? So it's just 3 overtakes he'll have to make, and then it's the lead for him. Can his streak be broken today? Or will someone rise up to the occasion? Will they form a DRS train and block him? I don't know. We'll find out in the race, which is going to come in about 7 minutes or so. 5 minutes after the session ends, and then have a 2-minute break. Right, now that all drivers are in, you may proceed anytime. Well, there we go. DRS has finally been disabled, which means the track conditions are officially ready for the intermediate tires. That's usually a telltale sign in the F1 games that the intermediate tires are going to be optimal, but sometimes it's a little bit on the crossover side. You may still find the softs are quicker in some tracks in certain conditions when DRS is disabled. In this case, I think in places like Silverstone, you definitely want to use the intermediates as soon as it starts to rain. And there you go. We definitely have it was almost a one-shot qualifying in some sense, with drivers only being able to make one run at the start of the session to get their qualifying laps in, and with one lap under pressure, Aswan in the Ferrari came the best with a 26.093. That's still probably a full second off what everyone could achieve here, maybe half a second or almost a second from what we'd expect from the ultimate lap times that these drivers can do around this track if it was fully dry. Now bear in mind that as they did their qualifying lap, the rain has started, and it definitely costed them a few tenths every corner. So Well, we may not have seen the best of laps, but we've definitely seen who came out the best in these conditions. 1 minute left to go, and well, there's no point really to set a lap time unless you want to start a little bit higher. For those who are still in the bottom three, Lampy, Magdi and Zanubi decides not to go out again. If they even go out now, there won't be enough time to proceed. So all 18 drivers that have registered for today are in the lobby, and we will be going to the race quite shortly. Let's see if they want to take a pee break while this minute is still there, because quite obviously someone may actually hit start quite early once they're on the grid. You never know. However, 20-second time penalty will be waiting for them if they do so. The stewards take it quite seriously. Now, let's calm down. Let's cool off just a little bit. Let me rest my larynx just a little bit before we get started here, because I'm pretty sure Silverstone always serves up a treat around here when it comes to side-by-side racing. It is a wide track. You can go 4 wide, 5 wide at any part of the track. Overtakes are going to be coming in fast and quick. It's quite easy to overtake at some point if you don't have DRS to defend yourself. But you know, once again, top speed is your best friend around here. If you have the top speed, you have extra battery regen, you might be able to defend quite easily. And if you're leading into the last lap with good amount of reserves, battery reserves, 50-60%, you will be able to defend yourself, provided you get a good exit coming onto the hanger straight and the back straight there. Well, few drivers are still out on track, utilizing the time here on the intermediates. Makes me wonder if there's actually some rain in the actual session here, or you know, drivers are just passing their time, you know, just you know, taking a chance to learn the intermediate conditions since we don't have wet time trial anymore. Let me know if you would love to see the wet time trials come back. Well, I for one loved it because it allowed me to practice for the rain at the very least. And also, you know, you could brag with someone like, yeah, I'm the wet master or something. Someone's gonna take that out of context and clip it and, you know, probably well, post it on Reddit and something. And well, I'll come to regret it next year. Well, there we go. Officially qualifying has been completed, ladies and gentlemen, and we are waiting for the 2-minute countdown in the session to be over, and we'll proceed to the grid where we will have a further 2 minutes wait for drivers to load in their setups and adjust their strategies. Remember, it is park permit turned off just because the game has some bugs when it comes to loading your setups once in a while. You know, sometimes you get disconnected, and when you rejoin, you can't change from the default setup even though you haven't changed your setup at all. Those are the things that happen in game, and that was a loud transition onto the TV pod cam over there as the session ended. Nevertheless, I think we can have a little bit more action coming real soon. And what a performance there by Aswan Jupri, AJ as his short name goes, to get the pole position here in round number 6 in season number 6. 2 Ferraris in the top 3, 1 and 3. This is looking like some fireworks on the way. Can they work together and pull away and hold off Charis? We'll find out, because you know, ideally, you know, everyone hopes that we get a new winner this season. If it was a Ferrari who did it in real life, probably a Ferrari could do it in MSRL as well. Let's see who has the race pace to do it today. Now, an interesting fact that, just if you notice, Switz and Nabil running the British flag here today. I wonder if that is some kind of a gimmick here, you know, to probably, you know, get a home win kind of vibe here. They are driving for the Mercedes team, who have a base in Brackley in UK. So technically, it's Mercedes' home race. It is their home race, and they also have 2 drivers in the British flags representing them. Someone might have hit start early there once again. We'll find out the culprit after the race. The stewards will do their due diligence. But for now, it looks like all dry here. A few clouds out on track there. Maybe some darker clouds forming. Will that be rain at the end? I think there might be rain at the end. I feel there might be rain at the end. Chat, what do you think? Let's see who gets it right. Who gets the prediction right today. While we wait, let's see which drivers will decide to go on which tires. I can see some mediums here. I don't want to go into the race director in case you're wondering why. There is another bug in the game where you go as a spectator. If you go into the race director, you get locked out of it and you can't escape out of the screen and you'll be stuck. And since I'm hosting the lobby, well, I'll effectively have to, well, leave the lobby, and host migration thing happens, and the lobby goes into haywire. Well, we don't want all that funny stuff. Let's just leave it is. No formation lab as well, so that means we are going to be starting real quick here. Let's see, if it's more than 2 minutes, I think probably someone did not even hit start. Maybe it's just the game on my side bugging out, I don't know. Let's hope everyone had their time to adjust their setups, and we will be joining them real soon. And if you're wondering, where is our co-commentator Nick, aka Newbie? Well, he is over in ACC right now. Him and I, with 4 other drivers, 6 of us are racing in 24 hours of Suzuka right now. Newbie is doing the opening 2 stints, which started about 2 hours ago, so his stint should be ending right now. He'll be joining us right after that ends. Man has to get some dinner as well, so let's just relieve him for today. He'll be joining us quite late though, and together, once we're done, we will be joining the race as well. We'll be posting that up in the MSRL server if you would like to see some of our members with other members as well racing in ACC. Can come join us, see how we perform or how we spin in Suzuka. Predictions for the Suzuka race: there's also some rain, but let's just come back to the topic here. It's been more than 2 minutes. I think it's a good time to hit start to whoever would love to take the privilege, and we will be starting real soon. My hands are itching on the F2 button to bring up the menu to show you all the tire data that we need. Okay, that is officially the sign. The beeping is done, and here we go. We will officially have a race start here. Mediums and hards, the choice of tires for most of the drivers here. 5 lights are coming on. It's quite long there, and finally 5 lights are out, and away we go. The Ferraris get a good launch here on the inside line, and into turn 1 it is still Ferrari 1 and 3. Will it be Ferrari 1 and 2 come the end of the first sector here? Lone looks like that's not the answer. Kenrick and Easy, oh, something's happening there, and a lot of action going on as you can see in the midfield here. Switch going up to P5, and just behind them there's a bunch of car exiting onto the Wellington straight here, and as you can see, side-by-side action once again. Nabil and Williams side-by-side into next corner. Oh, a little bit of a bumping there. Nabil has been tapped around, and that's one car off the track. Lampi was disconnected from the session. We can see some cars going wide there. Kendra dropping a few positions. Lampi's down to P18. He's all the way at the back of the grid. Well, he did start towards the back, so it's not too far where he started. But up in front, Sharis has got up into P3 with those medium tires here, so going aggressive with the strategy, following us1 on the strategy, whereas the rest of the top 8 apart from those 2 are on the hard tires. Now you see Sharis now going for aggressive move here on first lap itself. Goes around the outside with the soft tires, getting better exit out of Maggots and Beckett's, and Chapel here onto the hanger straight, made that move. Nabil there, and Scientist going for a move as well. Nabil lost the position. Scientist now around the outside, now gets the inside for the chicane onto the straight, and he gets the inside. He gets P7 for now. Nabil comes back though with an overspeed from the outside line. Now towards the inside. Will he stick it in or will he back out? He sticks it in, but he does not have enough momentum. Scientist is forced off a little bit. Kendrick is dropping down the positions, so he's had a little bit of a spin here. And where is he? He's all the way at the back now. His teammate, well, his ghosted teammate is there with him. Okay, what's happening there to Nabil as we see once again he's lost 1 or 2 more position. Hot stuff here on the, well, let's just bring up the tires for a few more laps. Hot stuff on the medium tires, finding it quite easy to overtake. Oh, a little bit of weaving there going on right in front with Hot Stuff and Kendra trying to get past each other. Nabil and Hot Stuff, obviously they're going to be fighting for the Constructors Championship positions for Red Bull and Mercedes respectively, while Switz has to catch up to Sharice, who's now up to P2. Switz playing the long game here. Will the long game pay off? If there's an early safety car, it's advantage for the hard runners, medium runners over here. Hot Stuff, as you can see from Nabil's on board, gets past Scientist. Now, well, gets past Kendra, my bad, and up into P9, P8 he goes. So first 2 laps are done. DRS will be enabled from this lap onwards, and we will probably see some overtakes coming in and on the back straight or even the Wellington straight around here. Zach this time around has managed to stay within Sharice's DRS into start of lap 3 here. So although he has been pushing with his battery here for now, Elia now super close to Switz on the back of the Mercedes here. He's going for the move. Switz will be forced to go defensive. Will he defend though? He's around the outside. He goes for it. And Elia now up into P5. And oh, a little bit of bumping there. Switz finding it a little bit too close for comfort into the back of his rival here. Elia up into P5, both on the hard tires here. Nabil and Easy have been juking it for the P10 position. Easy on the medium tires here, as you can see, a big old train here held up by Nabil, and Easy is right on his gearbox into Mackett's and Beckett. So let's see if this is going to turn into an overtake for Easy. Can even Magdi pull off a move here? He's only 5 tenths behind Nabil into this DRS zone. So let's ride on board here with the Haas pair. Well, Switz and Elia have gone for positions once again. It's swapping all around, and Nabil in P10 manages to hold off the Haas for now. Back to the front, we have Switz, who retakes P5 away from Elia. Now he has to do his best here to catch up back to Shahe in P4, and Shahe is not exactly catching to the pair of Azwan and Sharice who are on the softs. Zach has stayed within DRS, so he is being dragged along quite nicely here. So it's still Ferrari leading the way, with Sharice slowly, I think he's catching in by a tenth or 2 per lap. Okay, this time around Elia plays it smarter here, staying behind within the DRS range still. Nabil and Easy now going for the positions once again. Easy gets past on the inside with those medium tires firing up quite nicely. Nabil seems to be a bit troubled here on the starter with the hard tires. Zanubi and Kendrick, something's going on behind them as well. They are going for positions as well. So Silverstone, as you can see, super wide track, different lines that you can take to, outmaneuver someone. As you can see, Flaky here, was it Zanubi? It's Zanubi trying to go for the inside. Hamilton and Verstappen, that's not gonna work. Everyone knows what can happen there and what should not happen. Okay, now back to the battle in front for P1 here. P2, Sharice, no, he's not exactly catching up to Azwan just yet. Zach is staying pretty close, so that's a good sign. We have Scientist in P8, now within DRS range of Hot Stuff. Ayman Haikal and Wumax, the teammates at Williams here, they are fighting on. There's no team orders going around in Williams here today, and they are going for all the positions they can. There's a spin here up in front. There's a yellow flag. Which car is that? And that is Hot Stuff. The Red Bull has had a little moment here, and he's down to P12. Good news for the Mercedes team, but bad news for Hot Stuff, who is on the medium tires. That might have just burnt up his tires here, and as you can see, he's also running out of battery, so that's not a good sign. The Williams pair are on his gearbox already. Not long enough is the answer. This straight, Wellington straight, while it definitely provides some overtaking opportunity into the loop, but it is not enough to catch up for the Williams pair right now. And they'll look at that. Ayman Haikal gets his superior exit compared to his teammate. So the Williams are definitely looking to move forward. Will they play the team order here to potentially get further ahead into the positions? Looks like they might not. Hot stuff here, having hot tires here. Magdi at the back of Nabil. Magdi making his debut in MSRL, now up battling it for P10 here. Gets the DRS. Nabil also within DRS range of Easy. So but as you can see, the DRS helping him to keep himself just ahead for a little bit more, just a little longer. Meantime, Sharis has lost P2 up in front. Zach is now up into P2. Will they now drag each other along for a good old DRS train and catch up Azwan, who seems to be pulling away as the lap goes, as the drivers behind are battling it out quite hard. Sharis playing slow here. I think he's not really going for the overtake just yet. You can see that the hard tires are starting to fire up quite well. Zach has got up about 2/10 here just in the first sector alone, and if he can keep that up, he'll probably have a bit of an advantage as this stint ends here. The two Williams here going for moves, and look at that. Flaky is looking for an opportunity. Takes a wider line here, and he'll probably get a better exit coming onto the straight. Super wide there, onto the marbles even. But that definitely gives him a better exit, but not close enough to make a dent on the Williams just yet. MacD and, well, Nabil now stuck between two Haas here. He's in a Haas sandwich, stuck in P10 here. Gets within DRS range of Easy once again to keep himself alive from the attack of MacD here. But he runs wide though. He runs a little bit wide there on Chapel, and Nabil has to go defensive once again. Forces MacD around the outside, up in front. Easy and Kendra going for the moves as well. So you can see moves are being made all over the place here. Easy now up into P8, 3 seconds ahead of him. Oh wait, I'll just hold that thought. That is Kendra, who has actually launched it around the outside. And let's ride on board with Nabil to see what's exactly happening up in front. A little bit argy-bargy there into the Hamilton straight. Now into turn 1, looks like Easy has sealed the move, but Kendra is sticking very close to the rear of Easy. And into the next corner here, can Nabil get in DRS? Yes, he does. He's still holding up MacD here as the lap goes on. These medium tires are going to start to feel a little worse here than the hard tires. Then, well, probably right around now will be a good time for the medium tires to start fading off and be in favor of the hard tires here. Oh, a little bit of contact there, as we just saw from Nabil's on board here. The other car, which is Easy, has been sent super wide there, and what has happened there, as we can see, well, he's finally rejoined the track. Luckily, it's still looking like he has a full set of wing over here. Okay, so that wasn't so pleasant there between Easy and what was it, Elia, or was it Kendra? Yes, Easy and Kendra. Sharis and Zach swapping positions once again. A little bit of tappy there going on. They're trying to catch up to Azwan in P1, but they're still battling her quite hard, so that's not going to help them. Switch almost within DRS of Shahe. Elia still following Switch through for that P4, for the P3 even, so it's not over just yet. We're only 8 laps in. We still have about 2/3 of the race to go. Safety car right around now might just be the thing that these medium runners are looking for. The hard runners would love to go at least another 5 or 6 laps before having a safety car. Mediums till the end, from halfway on, will be the best tires to be on. Shahe now finds himself under attack from Switz. He's found himself within DRS, so that good job there for Switz after having a bad start there of some sort, getting up back into DRS of Shahe. Now Zach and Sharis are still just towing each other along at the very least. That's going to help them to regenerate more battery. But are they working together to catch up to the top one, to the leader of the race? Azwan Jupru has been leading for 8 laps in a row, and is that what I hear it is that Nick who's joined us in the comms box? Yes. Hey, welcome back, yes. Nick. Exactly. Well, I'll just give you a rundown of what happened. It started to rain, well, 2 minutes into the qualifying session. We only had sort of a one-shot qualifying, and drivers found it pretty difficult. Azwan Jupri scored the pole here, Zeg in P2, and Shahid scored a P3, finished in P3 for qualifying. Ferrari 1-3. We don't always see that. Now we have the start of the race, which is dry, and as you can see, a lot of position changes being going on. DRS trains all over the track. That's always something that is a fact even in Silverstone right around here. Nick.
Yeah, it does look like a very popular track, very populated track right here. I was gonna say it does look a bit cloudy. I was worried that there might be a little bit of drizzle, but it seems like it's still pretty stable here in the dries, and definitely a fight, a contender against Yaris here, in the form of the Ferrari is definitely a very interesting fight. Gonna be very interesting to see who can win out this round, especially Silverstone. So many interesting corners here, high-speed corners. It really just comes down to how much the drivers can maintain their tires to make sure they don't just fall off.
Yeah, and 9 laps into the stint here, I'd say the mediums will start to feel a little second-hand right now, and the hard tires will just phase in just nicely into the race here. We have a little bit of a action here. Ooh, Nabil has been having trouble since the start of the race on those hard tires, finding it a little bit difficult to keep it on track, to keep the medium runners behind him, and now he's passed by Hot Stuff and Ayman Haikal. He's under attack from the other Williams of Womax. So into Stowe here, luckily not Stowe, into Cops here, no issues, but he gets a poor exit. Womax, ever so opportunistic there, goes around the outside of Maggots and Beckets, now into a chapel here, on the exit of the onto the hangar straight here, gets the DRS of Hot Stuff ahead, and keeps the position. Which, speaking of which, we have Nabil now being overtaken here by Flaky, so that's a little bit of contact going on. God. And that is Flaky, who has, or was that Kendrick? Was that Lampy? It was Lampy who did spin out a little bit there. And or is that just his AI going a bit wonky? It looks like it.
Seems like it. Unfortunate for him, but hey, it is part of racing. I guess a little bit too opportunistic for Flaky, and definitely has caused both drivers to lose up positions as well as the driver to spin out.
Yeah, Ayman Haikal has gotten passed by his teammate Womax here, so I wonder if we had a poor exit coming out of the wheel chicane there. That's why Womax is suddenly up 2 positions, 3 positions even almost, and now he's catching up to Hot Stuff ahead of him. We have a close battle here forming between Elia and Switz and Shahid for P4 here. Switz has been overtaken by Elia once again. These two, Elia and Switz, were catching up to Shahid with the DRS tow tactic, and finally they've caught up to each other. And let's bring up the tire selection over here. As you can see, all these drivers in P4 fighting for P4 right now on the hard tires. Elia goes for the overtake. Switz, being in a 3-man DRS train, he's not going to find this beneficial because third man in DRS train, well, you're going to be having the hardest time to pass anyone. He'll have to make it up on some racecraft here, and looks like Elia has gotten past Shahid for now. Will they work together, Nick, to pull each other along? The speed tree up for them if they work together here.
I think they could, but it's all up to what each driver's objectives are. Some might think about the long game, work together to trace up front, give each other a DRS to pull each other through. Some will just be happy with the positions they have and fight to the very end. So it really depends. And I guess the upside here is that even though Switz cannot fight for the position as he goes a little bit sideways, oh my god, he has the best seat in the show for a very good fight for P4, I must say.
Yeah, exactly. Being the third man, it's always a little bit spicy here. Speaking of which, I think Elia there was under attack from Shahid for a moment into whatever corner you call it, the loop, love field. Yeah, Silverstone corner names. Well, I can't remember all those. Nick, you'll have to help me with that. But yeah, Shahid there going for the move probably indicates that they are not working together here. They're just fighting it up for position, which is, well, a good entertaining factor for here for us, for the viewers here in our chat, and also for us commenting on it. But it's not a good race factor for this trip, because they are potentially squandering a podium position over here if they keep squabbling. And there you go, they keep squabbling once again around the outside now. Shahid makes a move, easy as you like with DRS. Switch still finding it difficult to get past them though.
Yeah, I think as you can see, the gap might start to increase as they fight along, but if the two fighting in front are able to fight as little as without impeding both each other as much as possible, like the overtake that I see there. They might have a chance to catch up to P3. They just have to play the cards. As you see, the Alpines are going out wide, fighting against the Haas.
Beautiful fight here, though. Beautiful, clean fight there between Kendra and Magdi there. Now, Magdi will definitely benefit from the DRS around here, coming into the Wellington straight after this. So he'll go for the move once again. They don't look like they're going to be working together. They just want some action. Like, you know, the commentators in the Brazilian GP last week said, put drivers out on track, they will go for the overtakes, regardless if points are up for grabs. Speaking of points, well, let's hold that thought for a moment here. Beautifully crafted move here, I think, with DRS around the outside here. Nick, this is going to be a move.
Oh, yes, it is. A very good overtake around left field, coming into work hard on the back straight. I think it's hard to say. I think at the end of the day, drivers, as you see, coming out side by side, coming to cops. And go overtake by Kendra. Very good moves by both of them coming into the Maggots and Baggots complex. I think they're going to be fighting all the way through, all the way down into the hangar straight. It's going to be interesting, the two of them. But will this affect their run towards gaining into earnest? I think it is, as we see the Haas getting DRS. I think it's also very interesting to see such a big speed difference even with the DRS. Usually don't see that much of a big difference. So I think there's definitely some setup differences among the two of them. Or just one just runs out ERS to not be as good.
Pit stops coming in already, and we see some drivers into the pits already. Is that Shari's first one into the pits? Yes, he is going into the pits. So he started on the medium tires. Now, definitely he's going on the hard tires, right? Am I right? Let's just see that. Yeah, he is going on to the hard tires. It will be a little bit slow to fire up. Probably will take about half a lap, almost a full lap to fire up. But once he gets the pace up, he might just have an undercut on Azwan here, who's also on the same strategy. So this will force Azwan now into the pit box as well. Otherwise, he's going to be squandering the lead. At the very least, he should have a, he should pump a good in-lap here and then come right ahead of Sharis. Maybe, fall behind, but he'll have DRS to go with. The undercut is pretty powerful though.
Yeah, I think that's what Charis is aiming for, to get a very good undercut. There will be a few drivers that are planning to coming in. Azwan's one of them, as well as the medium drivers. As you see, MKD, Zeno, both already in the pits. Speaking of MKD, just now the fight with the Alpine, we have to see in a bit to see if they have any issues in terms of getting the undercut done. As you see this very beautiful train for P3 again. Yes, as you see,
excuse me for that. Yeah.
As AJ come into the pits, I guess this will be a time to tell if the undercut has been performed perfectly or not. As you see, Switz also coming into the pits. It's definitely very interesting to see the Mercedes not being in the top 5.
We have a bit of yellow there. Is it in the pit lane though? Is that yellow? Or is that into the pit entry or somewhere in the last corner? We have almost the whole grid entering the pit lane here. So right around this time onwards, you can go take the mediums till the end. The C2 tires, they're pretty durable around here. The best race tire to be on in Silverstone. But can they last? Easy picking up a 3-second penalty. So, well. We have a few time penalties coming in already. Starting with Zanubi earlier on. And then his teammate, was it Ayman Haikal? No, it was not his teammate. Ayman Haikal picked up a penalty as well. Easy now picking up a penalty as well. He's down to last almost. Not lapped just yet, luckily for him. And Elia, for the first time in this season, Nick, takes the lead in the race.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Provisional lead for the moment as the hard tire starts still working hard for the car. But we're gonna soon see the hard tire. But soon enough we'll see them start to come into the pits. As we see an interesting pit stop for Flaky. Might have accidentally swapped the wrong tires out the team in soft.
Soft tires.
How long would that last?
Spicy selection. Well, they can go till the end, but like you say, can they hold up? I think they might hold up for 6 or 7 laps, and he'll find it a little difficult for the last 3 or 4 laps. Elias spits into the pit lane.
No.
Coming into the pit lane. It is 60 kph around here. It's super difficult to judge, and he picks up 5 for his troubles. Shahe stays out for another lap, and that is... Oh no, he comes in as well. So Ferrari responding to the Alpine. They want to stay together. They know how powerful the undercut is. They don't want to get gapped here. And as that happens, Aswan retakes the lead of the race, but look at that. Sharice with that 1 lap undercut has managed to close that almost 3 second gap down to nothing here, Nick.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very strong fight between the two. Now it just really comes down to who can keep it cool. Because Sharish right now being the favorite of the season is going to be very hard on behind AJ. And it really comes down to how AJ responds. You know, can he keep it cool? Or is he just playing out fast? And he's just not worried about the medal and just gapping. I guess we'll see in a few laps' time. As Switz still in P5. But at this point, of it,
a good undercut though by Switz. Yeah, you picked up on that. He boxed about 2 laps earlier, and he has only gotten past Elia by a second. And Shahir, who's down in P7, well, he's at the back of Elia now. So it's just the same order. It's just the grid has reversed on each other. Nabil still staying out. I see some sneaky play coming in here for the Mercedes, probably. Maybe going on the soft tires towards the end.
That might be a good option given Nabil really has nothing to lose at this point. And if Nabil is able to hold out in the hard tire for longer, going on the soft tire might be a good shout because it will give Nabil a lot of good pace. It might allow him to overtake a lot of different drivers that could basically give Mercedes more points than they might have right now. And I think it's going to be very good strat if they can be able to pull it off. As we see Aswan again, fastest lap off.
Well, speaking of Nabil, I think. Oh yeah, Aswan, yeah, fastest lap on the hard tires here. So they are firing up just nicely here. So proving that the hard tires are equally a good tire here. But remains to be seen if the medium runners can actually catch up here, or will those horrible high load on these tires take a toll on them. We'll find out. As Sharice is still not able to pass Aswan right now. As you can see, DRS, ERS levels just about equal here. Zach, who was with Sharice right earlier on, and he's boxed onto a set of medium tires here. Now with this tire offset, he could potentially catch the top two if they start squabbling here, and this might just be an upset for the top two. We still have a chance to get a new winner here in race number 6.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be something there to be on our seats for. It's gonna be interesting, at least first time ever the Red Bull may or may not be on P1, but I think we still have a very long race to go. And basically at this point, if you see P1 and P2 are basically on their own league, and P3 and P4 are our fighters to look for. As you see the grid grid along this track, pretty close actually. When you see about it, you can see certain drivers 12 seconds in front of each other, whereas you can see from the train from P8 to P10 all within a second of each other. And I think it's really good for the race. Pretty interesting stuff here.
Yeah, I think the top 6 might have been, the top 3 have, top 2 are pulling away. And there's a little bit of gap with 3 and 4. There you go. We were just riding on board with Elia here in the Alpine here. Now challenging Shahé into the last corner here. Shahé, Switz and Elia were fighting earlier on before the pits for P4. And now they are still fighting for P4. But while these two are fighting, Switz has... earlier we saw he was still maintaining a gap about 1.2 to 1.3. Now he'll probably be relieved if these two are going to keep fighting. Shahir will be hoping that they work together to catch up to Switz, to reconnect the train. At least they have a chance for fighting for P4 rather than being stuck in P5 here. Elia with the 5 second will be hoping to get past them either way to pull a gap maybe, but that's a lot to ask in this tight grid right now.
Yeah, definitely a lot to ask as we see drivers just at this point, I think, at least with the DRS assisting here, they are able to overtake with well. If not, it's going to be a very long train that we're going to have to each other. Speaking of which, do you see the drivers down in Sector 2? A very big train there. As you see a bunch of drivers there.
Alright, now heading into Corps, just as you mentioned. That is a long train. One mistake and I think you'll be at the back of the train though. Hot stuff leading that little train there.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be interesting, and also it really puts the pressure on your driver to make sure they don't spin out and make sure they have minimal mistakes as they drive as hard as they can here. But as you can see, all the way down from P7 all the way down to, I think that will be down to P14 all together, bunched up coming into the Sector 3, and that is gonna be making sure, keeping the drivers on track, making sure that they are consistent. As we see a very bold move by Flaky on overtaking Kendrick here. I don't think Kendrick will be pleased about that. As we
Yeah.
might get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
And he
That
has
is
retired,
unfortunate.
which leads me to believe he might have to retire from the race for some personal reasons there. You
That
know,
is unfortunate.
well, yeah, he was racing quite well there with his teammate, potentially looking at a top 10 finish, but he has to leave. So, well, farewell to him. We are down to 17 runners for now. Only top 15 scores points though. That's the you know, the competitive things that we have set around here. Kendrick makes a mistake, and that, as we spoke about Nick, as you mentioned earlier, one mistake, and look at that. Now he's within clutches of his teammate already.
Yeah, I think that really shows how unforgiving F1 as a whole is. It is very demanding, even though our sim isn't as realistic, but it's still, the racing is still very demanding, and small mistakes can make for very big consequences. It could be a difference between podium or not. It could be a big difference between points or not. And as you can see,
what is this?
oh, yes.
Ooh,
Being
oh,
very
a little bit of
bold.
collision there.
That's a hit.
And that's a
That-
big collision. Kendra is out of the race, and that might just be a virtual safety car actually. Well, someone in chat just summoned a safety car for lap 20. Well, you got a VSC 2 laps earlier, and that means the race is neutralized just a little bit here. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if someone would like to go into the pits and get a set of soft tires just for, you know, just for the lols of it. With that, 2 drivers are out. We have 16 runners remaining. One person is not scoring points today, so who will be the unlucky person? Scientist and Hot Stuff, they are just going a little back and forth here. As I said, he has gone into the pits. Prix picks up a 5-second penalty, Nick, for speeding in the pit lane. Hot Stuff goes in as well. Is it Hot Stuff? Yeah, Hot Stuff is in for a set of medium tires. And we have some drivers here. Let's see, you know, few of them. Kenrick has Hot Stuff has gone into the pits. Flake is still out on the soft tires. MacD picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the under the VSC limit, and that is going to drop him down out of the points probably. One mistake.
Yeah, I think, yeah, as I said, as we all said, one mistake. It's really unforgiving here, even though the game's already been very forgiving. You know, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane is something that to the real world is like a laugh in the park, because, you know, 5 seconds is basically nothing. But hey, it's what we serve, and even with that leniency, still see 5-second penalty can affect you a lot of you know, can affect a lot of your points, and certainly a drive-through is not gonna have to be one that's gonna put you all the way back to the grid, and it's gonna be a very hard drive just to get back to the place you are.
Yeah, and we saw that in the background just for the moment. A Hot Stuff on those fresh medium tires here. Although he's still running low on battery, he has overtaken Easy there on those old hard tires. So now his target will be set on Nabil, who's 7 seconds up the grid. I don't think that's totally impossible. He can definitely catch up and make a few positions from here on. Back to P10 maybe. That's where he was earlier on, Hot Stuff. Maybe he can get back there up to Scientist, who's up in P7. So a tall order here. MacD picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane to serve that drive-through penalty. So that is compounding to his troubles already, and he is dropping down the order while he's serving that drive-through penalty. Now we see here Hot Stuff with the fresh tires already pulled off more than a second gap. Easy now is going into the pit lane. Oh, opposite lock there.
That is definitely a very sketchy way to get into the pits, but hey, they got it
he
working.
has retired from the session.
Oh no.
Is his way of saying I'm done with the race? Looks like it might just be. And that leaves us with 15 runners. So if you finish the race right now, you're definitely going to get a point at the very least. We are down to 15 runners, 2 DNFs by virtue of drivers retiring in the pits. 1 collision that brought out the VSC early on, and we are suddenly, you know, still not done for the battle. I was going to say something else, but you know, this battle for the lead has not been resolved just yet. Sharis burning his battery, Aswan burning it even more. So Sharis is in a advantageous position right now to probably take the lead away on the last lap or 2 and probably win this again, unless Aswan can conjure up something.
Yeah, I think the VSC definitely helped Sharis in the sense that it helped them, you know, recharge the battery, reset what they had, and you know, now as we see a driver coming into the pits, into the side of the road. Who is that? That is a Haas on the side of the road, I believe.
That was the Haas of Easy, which actually came out of the track and just parked up on its own. Game things as usual. We still have a battle for P4 raging on. Guess what? It's the same trio, but this time the whole train is reverse. Switz is leading the train with Elia right behind him and Shaheh just at the back of the train. So now Well, Elia has a 5-second penalty here, so it is up to Shahey to get past Elia, and then he will have a chance on attacking Switz for that P4. But Elia being in the middle of the train, so he's going to be the deciding factor here. If he can hold off an attack from Shahey behind, he could probably still, spoil Shahey's day for that P4.
Maybe, but also it really is upset to how composed Elia can be. Being behind the driver, especially coming down into Maggots and Beckets and coming into the hanger straight. These few corners are definitely very deadly in terms of for the downforce cars, as you lose a ton of downforce
Well, there we
for
go.
the driver in front. As we see the DRS coming down, overtaking Switz. I think Switz will not leave this hanging. Definitely will try to recharge his battery, going for the DRS overtake on the next straight as they could.
Oh,
Yeah,
clumps the curb, and that is his car ghosting off just a little bit. I think that was a little bit unlucky there for Switz, and he has been passed by Shahey. One mistake, that's being the team around here in Silverstone, and now Shahey has got past Switz for P5. And Elia up ahead, he has a 5-second penalty, so this is going to be an all-out brawl, a 1-to-1 between Shahey and Switz from here till the end.
Yeah, definitely a very unforgiving track here, from the very long, very complex high downforce corners to the very tall sausage curbs that we see here. These are what make Silverstone and why we love racing here. But yeah, for drivers, they definitely cannot sleep. As you can see, a little bit small mistakes cost you basically 2 to 3 positions, and Swiss will definitely not be happy with that outcome, and will definitely want to try hard to claw it back as he still fights strong to keep inside the DRS range in front of Sharius.
Oops, excuse me, sorry.
Oopsies. As we see them coming down into cops, down into Megas and Packets. Will he be able to keep up just to make sure that he has the DRS? I think time will tell during this fight. Moving along, actually, we see a lot of other drivers actually not as close, but we do see the Aston Martins down into P9 and P10. Pretty interesting. Nabil, P11 with, I think, are they in mediums right now? They'll definitely
Still
they
on
are.
The medium tires, yeah.
Yeah,
and,
but
let's bring up the tire graphic as well, as you can see there. Nabil on the medium tires here, chasing Lamphy here, so 2 seconds away. Lamphy on considerably older hard tires here for 12 laps. Nabil is probably reeling him in already, and Kenrick also probably pulling away from his teammate, or is Lamphy catching up? We haven't noticed that really, but yeah, that's like a secondary train there, tertiary train and whatnot, forming everywhere. 4 laps to go, including 3.5 laps to go, including this, and we are not done yet. The lead of the race is still up for battles. Sharius has been holding off for quite a long time, just biding his time behind Azwan. Zach has been falling off further and further despite having the medium tires here. And Elia, Shahey and Switz are still fighting it for on-track P4 right now, which might just go to Shahey or Switz come the end of the race. The good news is for Shahey, he has caught up to Elia within the DRS range. That means he's going to be able to keep himself alive, defend himself much better against Switz coming into these closing phases.
And I think, as you can see, it's like we only have 3.5 laps remaining, so whatever move you gotta go, you really have to time it right. And speaking of timing it right, when you think about it, because especially this train in P4, you see an overtake done every single lap on the straight. So you really have to think about it and time yourself right. Do you want to stay in front until the very end, or maybe just stay behind, get some battery, get a good run, just so that at the very last lap, get all the DRS and the battery just to make that right overtake at the right time so they can get the position. I think drivers really need to think about this, as well as you can see, Switz going a little bit sideways about preserving the tires. You need to make sure that you have enough tires to push it as hard as you can. Maybe pull back a little bit, gain as much energy as you can, but also maybe keep up to the train, while at the same time making sure that you don't burn up all you have for the last push.
Yeah, an interesting battle still for the lead here, with 3 laps to go, 2.5 with this to go. Sharis and Azwan still battling it out. Both are running low on battery here. This is still going to be an advantage for Sharis because he's this close to Azwan, heading into the DRS zone, coming onto the hanger straight here. Azwan gets a little loose there. Sharis gets the DRS cutback, and now he's going for the attack. He's going for the move here. He's going for it around the outside neck. This is going to be a lead change for first time on track here. Out on track, Sharis retakes the lead. But for how long?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think it's a good move though? Because you still have 2 laps to go. does all the battery that he has sacrificed just to get that move worth it for the fact that he would have to be fighting for AJ behind him for the lead in a couple of laps time? Will he be able to defend it?
Well,
Because
that have to
AJ
hold
has
for a
DRS,
moment
has
because we
battery.
still have this three-way battle going on, Nick. It's still for battling for supremacy out on track here. Shahid going for that move on Elia and unsuccessfully, successfully defended by Elia. Shahid finding it difficult to get past the Alpine, which seems to be a little slippery today on the straights at the very least. Not so on the corners, but it is still pretty slippery on here. Once again, let's go back to the lead here. Sharis now finds himself within attacking range of Azwan. Azwan is finding himself in the attacking range of Sharis here with two possible attempts left this lap and the next lap. Sharis runs a little bit wide there at Cop's corner, and now Azwan finds himself on the gearbox of Sharis here, so probably some good amount of downforce in that Ferrari helping him close up to the Red Bull here. Question is he going to go for the overtake around here? He is going around the outside, trying to pull off the same move that the Red Bull pulled up on him a lap earlier. But this looks interesting. The lead battle, I think, is going to come down to the last corner, to the last lap. We'll have to ride on board with them the entire way. I think we still have P4 battle going on in the background, but we know how that's probably going to turn out. Shai is probably going to finish where he is. So let's see the lead battle here into turn 1. Nick.
Yeah, into Cops, right down into the very interesting. Oh, never mind. That's not Cops. Into the inner loop here. I feel like Sharish could have given them the pass that would have been a little bit more of a better move. But of course, track position is always the supremacy when it comes to any sort of uncertainty, as we see. As1 with the DRS, I think he's gonna make a move down.
It's lifting.
It's lifting. He knows that there's still one more move down into the hangar straight. I think he has understood that overtake there is more favorable. I think it is a very good idea to do the overtake there. The only issue is that Sherry has enough energy to defend for the move against Azwan down into the corner for down at the end of the hangar straight.
Yeah,
I think
energy is definitely enough, Nick, I think. But here we go. This is potentially a league defining, season defining moment here. Will we have a first winner here? A new winner here after 6 races. Azwan now with DRS. Sharis defending for all he can for 6 wins in a row. Azwan goes for the move on the inside into Stowe corner here, takes the lead. Sharis comes back for the attack. Azwan defends the inside now. Oh no, he leaves it open for, oh my goodness, my camera just gone wonky for a moment. Azwan couldn't, he defends on the inside, but across the line, he will defend valiantly and come home to win the race number 6 here in the British Grand Prix and to beat Sharis. His dominance is out. Welcome Azwan to the winners list, and Ferrari finally have broken the duck of Red Bull. Similar to real life, they have done it here in MSRL season number 6. MacD making his debut in MSRL today, picks up the fastest lap of the day. Now let's go back to P4 and 5. I think we definitely missed that bit a little bit. Shahid finishing a full second ahead of Swiss, and that is a good battle for P4 and 5. Now scientists,
that's definitely a very amazing race here. And scientists coming down to P7, ending the race tonight. Pretty alright, pretty stable. Aman Haikal behind as well, coming down into the final corner, and P8 for the Williams. Lamprey 5 seconds behind them, though I think the final train of the race is coming into here as Lamprey finishes at P9. Hot Stuff P10 with the penalty, though. We'll have to see. Kendrick coming in P10 in replacing Hot Stuff as Nabil closes it off
in P12. Wow, and
amazing.
Flaky will be the final driver out on track to, well, not get lapped, and well done to him as well, holding it out, and now we'll come home in P13 to finish in points. Well, that was a good freaking race, I must say, Nick. That was a good race, a good qualifying to complement to it. I think that rain at the start, as soon as we got into the lobby, 2 minutes on, it started to rain. That definitely caught out a lot of the drivers, and that presented an opportunity which Azwan took, which Switch tried to take advantage of by being the first one out on track. Unfortunately, Azwan did better than him. He got the pole position with a 26.0, and he maintained his lead for as long as he could, held on Sharis's onslaught, and now he becomes a winner here in MSRL.
Yeah, definitely a very interesting podium spot here as Aslan comes in P1, our first Ferrari and our first non-Charles contender for P1, and it's definitely been a very interesting race here. Especially, it's just pretty surprising for Silverstone. Usually we expect Silverstone to be slightly boring, but hey, it has been an interesting grid. We have a very close grid here, and it's definitely been very helpful in terms of making sure we have a very good result here.
Yeah, and well, I think everyone in the Discord is going a little bit nuts right around now. I can hear pings in the background coming in. Probably could hear it in the stream as well, as I forgot to enable streamer mode for good reasons. And yeah, Azwan wins. Sharis, good fight back though. Some drivers, Lamphy doing a good comeback though because he missed. I mean, he didn't set a lap time in qualifying. He got caught up by the weather conditions, finishing in P9. Few more drivers, I think they have done pretty well today to come home where they finish as they are. Once again, I think that has been a wonderful race. Probably the best of the season, just because we finally had someone who beat Sharis out on track here with all the conditions that took place. He came up on top.
Yeah, definitely very interesting right here as we end tonight's race.
Yeah, and to the folks who joined us from the start till the end, thank you once again. Hit that like button, do some work for the algorithm and get more people here as well. And if you are interested to join, the link is in the chat section. The Discord server link has been posted, so you may join us over in Discord, and we'll provide you with the steps to, join the league. We still have plenty of reserve seats available. All 20 seats, main seats have been filled up. Reserve slots are starting to fill up now as well. We have 3 reserve drivers and the list might just grow. So see you on track for the remaining 4 races. Next week, we are headed to Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Nick, real life track for the first time. Pretty cold conditions over there. And it's probably going to be another overtaking fest on the back straight in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Las Vegas, but it does sound like it's going to be a very interesting race. I think it will have to come down to see how these drivers adapt to the new street circuit of Las Vegas right here.
Yeah, and well, with that, I think we'll take a pause here and we'll head out for today. And Nick, thank you once again for being my partner here in the comms box. We love it when you are around, and well, we'll see you as well, chat. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye.